Everybody's got a thing, but some don't know how to handle it. Humans by nature are very insecure beings. You know yourself better than anybody else does, and when you know that you do something that other people don't necessarily do, it's not necessarily common, it's natural to feel embarrassed about that sort of thing, to try to hide it away from the world. But, you know, I've done a lot of thinking over the years, and I used to be a very, very insecure person, but I've realized that we're all fucking humans, and we're all fucking weird, and nobody thinks about you as much as you do yourself. So, honestly, be real with yourself, be honest about who you are and what you're into and all that. And with that preface out of the way, I'm gonna go right into talking about weird shit, and you're gonna know exactly who the fuck I am. So our story begins in the year of our Lord 2021. I was working on a funny Smash Ultimate mod called Garbage that you should totally check out because I think it's pretty swag. And at this point in time, I stumbled upon Zelda. Zelda was the next character I was going to help develop for this mod, and I was like, what can I do to Zelda to make her interesting and good and funny? And what I landed on, you know, Zelda's kind of like Zoner incarnate, but a lot of actually good zoners in Smash Ultimate, like Samus, Snake, etc., all of these characters are somewhat heavy. They have a decent amount of weight, they can live a number of hits, you know? And Zelda is just not like that. Zelda's a lightweight character with worse zoning tools than characters like Samus and Snake. So it's like, what the fuck? Why would you play Zelda? So I was like, I gotta make Zelda a super heavy. But then I was like, what if she looked like that too? My preferences got the best of me, and I made a model, and the guy I was developing the mod with, you know, he's not super into it, because he's like, dude, you can't just put the developer's fetish in the mod, that's fucking weird. So, we, as a joke, we put it in the first upload of the mod on Game Banana, but then we removed it like 5 minutes later. So people who downloaded it in like the first second have it, but nobody else who did does. But I put it up separately on my own Game Banana page, because why not? So if anybody wants BBW Zelda, you need to log in, show not safe for work stuff, and you can download it, I guess, if you want to. And that was my first foray into the world of body modification, I guess we'll call it. And I really just made it on a whim. I was like, you know what, I want to learn more about using Blender, and you know, it's kind of up my alley, if you know what I mean. And yeah, so I made that, and that was it. I didn't intend on making anything more. But then, literally weeks after, like not even a month has passed since we officially released Garbage, my lovely co-developer links me a mod from another game. So I get sent the Chubby Jacko mod because I know who I am, he knows who I am, and I'm like, no fucking shot, this is a thing. So I download it, and there's issues, right? The biggest issue is there's this black prism box thing that stretches out a lot that's like attached to her feet. And I'm like, what the hell is this? There's some other weird issues with the model. It's missing the outline that every character in Guilty Gear Strive has on their model that like makes it stylized or whatever. The way her torso is connected to her tits is kind of weird. There were some issues, but the biggest thing was this stupid fucking box. So I was like, you know what? I've done it once. I can do it again. I can fucking do it again. I can do a better job at this. I can remove that shitty fucking stretchy ass trapezoid. You know what I mean? So I did it. We released Chubby Jacko Redux. I was able to fix all of the issues I set out to fix. The box is no longer there. The reason the box was there, Guilty Gear Strive runs off of Unreal Engine. So you have to go into Unreal Engine with the assets that you're gonna alter in the game, and you have to adjust some stuff. And the box that's on the model that's textured entirely black is actually the outline material, and you have to set the outline to properly outline the like layers of the model that you wanted to outline. And that was the one thing that the previous modder didn't do. So I did that. It's all fixed, it's wonderful, it's out there, and I'm satisfied because, you know, it's out there. But then I was a little more than satisfied, because I'm a fucking lonely ass loser. And I look at these comments, and there are people who are telling me, this is so wonderful, this is so lovely, I really like what you did there, I hope you do more, right? That's the general idea. I know some of that is coming from some not so clean parts of people's minds or whatever the fuck, but you know, I'm a sucker for praise, and I love the people. And if the people want more, the people will get more. They're not gonna get more immediately, because you know, I'm a human with like school and work and fickle inspiration and all that bullshit. So the next mod I made actually was Mario Ultimate, the greatest Mario experience to ever grace the entertainment platforms of our world. And I think Nintendo should hire me because clearly I'm a genius. Anyway, the next one I made came out several months later. I made one for Millia because I was just, I don't know, I was kind of feeling it. And if they liked the first one, they might like the next one. So I did it. Why not? You know, it just, a thought that kind of came to me. And I didn't really intend to do anything more past that. I mean, I don't really intend to do anything. Usually when I do shit, it's just because, you know, inspiration strikes, and you strike the iron when it's hot or whatever the fuck. So for several more months, I didn't do anything. But then I randomly kind of stumbled onto my Game Banana DMs, which I wasn't checking Game Banana regularly at all until I checked it at this point in time. And I had several older DMs that were just like, hey, you planning on doing more? Hey, you planning on doing X character? I had one person who was like, hey, I'll commission you. Which I've never taken a commission from anybody in my life or anything. I draw shit. I guess I know a decent amount of 3D modeling now because I've fucked around with Blender enough. I've modded multiple games. But I just don't do commissions because I'm just not a money-driven person, I guess. Like, I do shit I'm interested in. I don't know. I don't know how to put it beyond that. It's just weird taking cash from people when it's a passion. I don't know. I know that's the wrong way to think of it, but I've just never been driven by money. But I was like, you know what? The people want more, and I'm feeling it. The people will get more. The people will get more. So I did Bridget, because one of the DMs I got was like, hey, could you do Bridget? And Bridget's not really my wheelhouse, but I was like, you know what? Sometimes we gotta expand our horizons. So I made a Bridget mod, and I uploaded Bridget, and I got more positive feedback, and I don't know, everything was great, I guess. I don't know. So I've laid out all of this really just to say that at this point in time, I was really the only person doing this, at least the only person doing this publicly to any extent, because, you know, again, everybody has insecurities, but I've gotten to the point where I just don't care. Who the fuck cares who I am anyway? This is who I am, I'll just put it out there. I was really the only person doing this sort of thing. The only other mods I had seen in this sort of vein for Guilty Gear Strive was the original Jacko mod, and randomly between the time I made Millia and Bridget, I believe, somebody made a Johnny mod where they also didn't assign the fucking outline, and there was the stupid fucking assign outlines on your mods. Please, please, please. But yeah, so Johnny, but that was it. And Johnny was a commission, which, you know, people are getting commissioned to do worse work than what I put out for free. You love to see it. But, okay. The one character I wanted to do, because again, we've gone over this. I'm not money driven. I do what I want to fucking do. The one character I wanted to do was Elphelt. And now, you know, if you know me, which you probably don't, but if you know anything about me, you know that I enjoy Elphelt Valentine. I think she's a lovely character. And I was like, when Elphelt drops, I'm gonna do Elphelt. But we've also talked about cyclical motivation. So when Elphelt dropped, I was like, you know what? This isn't urgent. I don't necessarily have to do Elphelt right now, you know? Maybe when I'm more in the mood. You know, it's the holidays and I'm with family and I'm raising this silly little kitten dude. So, of course, with all of that in mind, some crazy motherfucker beat me to the punch and did Elphelt. It was like, bro, like, how was I supposed to expect? This motherfucker had not uploaded anything, and they did Elphelt. And they actually, like, assigned the outline and stuff, and it, like, looks good. And it's like, damn, I was beaten to the punch. Like, how am I supposed to deal with this? And then it blew up on Twitter, apparently, which I don't even fucking use Twitter, but I use fucking BBWChan. So I go on BBWChan fighting game thread, and I see it posted, and it's like, dude, none of my mods ever got, like, I don't know. I respect the fuck out of the guy who did it because he did a good job and it looks good. And, you know, we love people being creative. But at the same time, there's part of me in the back of my head that's like, damn, Damn, I was beaten to the punch. So those are my thoughts on that. That was goofy as hell. But then, like, days later, I got a random DM on Game Banana that was like, do you have a Discord? And I was like, yes, I have a Discord. I had no idea what the fuck this person wanted, but I was like, yes, I have a Discord, here it is. And they wanted critique on their own Elphelt mod with modified proportions in that kind of way. And I was like, damn, people are reaching out for me. So it's become like a thing almost. It's just weird to me. Because apparently there's a lot of like bullshit discussion in Elon Musk's playpen about body positivity and plus size and all that in the Guilty Gear community because of Elphelt. And then there's people making mods for other characters. There's like multiple people working on multiple mods for other characters. Based on what I've seen in the Unreal Anime modding Discord. I feel like a trendsetter, but I also don't feel like a trendsetter because it wasn't my mod that kicked everything off. But like, maybe it kind of was. It's just such a bizarre feeling. And through looking at all of this, there's so many weird... I just generally don't like where a lot of the conversation about this sort of stuff has gone on that Discord server, and the snippets of Twitter or X or whatever the fuck that I see. It's so silly. There's a lot of people on the Discord who just express disgust at the whole thing, which is silly to me because it's just the way people are shaped. But when you keep in mind that there's like kind of weird vibes and intentions behind that sort of thing, it's just strange. And that's kind of like, those are kind of my thoughts on the body positivity movement in general. A lot of it comes down to sexual stuff, right? A lot of the body positivity movement, a lot of it's very genuine. A lot of it comes from people who are like, hey, I shouldn't be viewed in such and such ways because I look this way. But a lot of it's also weird and sexual and OnlyFans and appealing to people's fetishes. And it cements in my mind that humans are sexual by nature. I don't think you can take the sex out of a human. All of our decision making comes from sex. If you think about it, evolution, who passes on which genes, it's who has sex. And any trait that you have in your body when you have sex gets passed on. So ultimately, all of our traits over millions of years are designed to get us laid. So what I'm trying to say here is everything we do is because we are trying to have sex. And when you have movements like the body positivity movement, it's never more clear. Because you'll have people... and I see this on my mods. I'll have people who respond to mods like, oh, I love that this character has a larger body size because it's relatable and this is kind of how I view them and we need more diversity throughout these fighting game casts. And I think that's a wonderful thing. But then I also get comments like, I'm gooning right now. And it's like, dude, it's like two sides of the same coin. Two sides of the same coin is exactly how I see this shit. It's so crazy to me. And I don't think the dissonance between the people who are purely like, haha, fetish, I love this, and the people who are like, yeah, body diversity, I don't think I've seen it more pronounced than I did in the Discord interactions following my initial help that I gave with this person on Blender stuff. So the person who DM'd me seems to be very much like the body positivity camp sort of person, but there are a few other people in that Discord server who were very much not shy about making it known that they were just like straight up into it. So this person is like asking this other person, like, yeah, why are you into big tummies and like that sort of deal. And it's so silly to me because it's like walking up to the most vanilla heterosexual cis man ever and being like, hey, why are you into tits? And then taking their word as gospel as to why every other person in the world who likes tits would be into tits. It's like, dude, like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee you, based on what that person said, the other person who is into big tummies, I guarantee you that not everybody into larger people is into them for those exact reasons, right? as humans, we're so diverse. And this is why I fucking hate labels, because you go on a website like BBWChan. I know I keep mentioning BBWChan. What the fuck is BBWChan? BBWChan's an image board, much in the vein of 4chan is like, and it's used for quote-unquote sharing porn of big, beautiful people. If you go on there, you obviously can tell that even if everybody's into fat people, they're not into like the same kinds of fat people for the same reasons, you know what I mean? Like the fact that there's multiple threads for like real stuff and then multiple threads for drawn stuff, already that's a pretty big difference in like what you're into. But then you have people who are like more into, how the fuck do I even phrase this? You have people who are into just bigger bodies, like the softness, the squishiness, whatever words they want to use that sound kind of cute, but in context sound kind of fucking really weird and like off-putting. You have that. You have the people who are into like straight degradation over weight, which is kind of like the exact opposite of the body positive movement. It's funny. I don't know. And yeah, you have people who are into like just kind of chubby people, like people who are into like immobility and like all of that. You have blueberry. I don't even want to talk about blueberry motherfucker inflation. There's so much. There is so much. There are so many forms of weird in this world that relegating them all to, oh, that person's a chubby chaser is like the least accurate thing you can do. And that's why I hate labels, and that's why I think going and asking one specific person who's into it why they're into it and then taking that for the whole group, I just think it's so silly. And then there are also people in the Discord server who are also clearly not there to listen to that kind of shit because they just want to mod their game. And I don't know, it was the least comfortable thing ever. And I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm making this video. All I want to say, I think the takeaways, what I want everybody to go home with, right? Labels are fucking stupid. There are so many wonderful, beautiful people in this world, and so many stereotypes to fit them, but nobody fits a stereotype. No one person into big, beautiful women is into the same kind of beautiful women, because there's a lot of different beautiful women in this world. There's a lot of different beautiful men in this world. There's a lot of beautiful fucking theys in this world, dude. Like, fuck. I hate gender. Gender is just a label too. I don't know, man. Everything is sexual. I don't think you can take sexuality out of the human. I think humans are inherently sexual beings. And I think you should be yourself. You don't have to beat people over the head with who you are. But don't be scared to just do what you want to do. Put what you want to put out there. Just put it out there. I don't know. You know, 1 minute I'll make Chubby Jacko Redux. The next I'll make Mario Ultimate, the greatest Mario experience the gaming world has ever seen. And yeah, that's about it. Check out my Eno mod, by the way. I just made an Eno mod. Check out my Eno mod. Alright, I'm recording this in post, so when I was working on this video, this is taking like a week off of my life. While I was working on it, the other guy made an Eno mod too. I got beaten to the punch fucking twice. I can't keep getting beaten. So I did the one thing that he would never touch, and I did Kai mod. So if you want to download Kai mod is there too. I fucking hate